Hi, I'm Christine Herman of Herman's Quality Meat Shop in Newark, Delaware. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about how we at our store wrap your packages. Are you ready? I have before me some of the freezer paper and wrapping paper and tools that we use to wrap your meats. When you come into our store, because we're a custom store, we offer a service of wrapping your product for you. We're going to ask you some questions, and some people look at it as a little bit funny, like, why does it matter when I'm going to eat this hamburger? Well, it does matter to us because we want to make sure that we wrap it properly for you. If you're going to freeze it, we want to put it in the right paper. If you're going to use it in the next day or two, we want to put it in a paper that will just be fine for a couple of days. Otherwise, if you're going to put it in the freezer in the paper that's not freezer safe, it's going to get freezer burn, and then you've lost product and wasted money. We don't want that to happen. And because in our store we custom cut everything and wrap everything, we have customers that order anywhere from 1 hamburger to 100, from 1 steak to 50 steaks. You have to go home and do something with that. You may as well let us do that for you. That's our service that we offer. And these are some of the papers that I have, and I'm going to explain these things to you real quick. This is this is a freezer paper. You can see the quality. This is a paper on the outside, and it has a wax coating on the inside. And I have 2 different sizes. And I also have what is known as butcher paper. You've probably heard this term before. And this is just basically a plain piece of paper that you can use for something that you're going to be cooking in the next couple of days. Because the other thing you wanted us to tell us is that if you're going to be storing something in your refrigerator freezer, you're going to be opening and closing that door. So you want to make sure, again, that it's wrapped properly and that it is going to withstand the opening and closing. And if you're going to be keeping something in like a chest freezer in your basement or in your garage, we want to wrap it appropriately. And what we do here is I have, excuse me a second, I also have plastic sheets of varying sizes that we use as a first wrap. And I have some meat here that I'm going to wrap and kind of show you what we do and what I'm talking about for those of you that aren't our customer. And again, this is how we do it here in our store. We've been doing this for well over 55 years. So, for example, I have these are not chicken breasts. These are ground beef patties. So I can either individually wrap it like this, or I can wrap 2 in a package like this. Do 2 and 2 in this piece of plastic, just like that. And then what I can do for you is wrap it in this white freezer paper. And I have to reach for my tape because it's a little further from where I'm used to it being. And then I'm going to use this white freezer paper and make a nice, perfectly sealed package. And I have a lot of people tease me about my Christmas wrapping. I usually use gift bags so that I don't have to do this at Christmas time. And there's your nice, neat package. And then I take a marker and I label it 2 beef patties. And there you go. There's your package. And that's how it's going to look. Now, I have other customers. I'll turn that around. I have other customers who will want a lot of beef patties. Like I said, sometimes they'll buy 30 or 40 beef patties, and we'll individually wrap them, and then we'll put them in a freezer-safe plastic bag like this and stack it up neatly and freeze it for you, and then put a label on it. And that's something else that we offer. Now, I have ground beef. Here's a pound of ground beef. We'll weigh out whatever size you want. If it's a pound or 2 pound packages or pound and a half, pound and a quarter, same thing. And I'll wrap it just like that. And the way I'm wrapping it, this will stay in either an upright refrigerator freezer or in your chest freezer for 6 to 9 months. I've had some people say that they keep it in their freezer over a year. And that's how we wrap it. And then we have a handy dandy stamp like this. And it's labeled so you know how it's wrapped. Now, if you have something that you're going to be using right away, like 2 pieces of chicken breast, I have individually wrapped so you can unwrap one at a time. And you're going to be cooking this tomorrow or the next day or the third day. Sorry for the crumpling of the paper, but you see what I'm doing. This is your brown butcher paper, and you can take it just like so and use that within the next couple days. However, I have bigger pieces of meat, like this picanha here, beautiful, right? That is going to require a little extra special. So I'm going to do what's called a double wrap in my freezer paper. And I could probably use something a little bit bigger, but that would work. So there's your first wrap with the seal. And then over top, I'd wrap it again, like so. And this will give it extra protection. The meat is completely sealed. It should not get freezer burned. And you should be able to use this or store it in your freezer for probably 6 months easily because of the quality of the paper that we use. Now, I am also going to suggest what we do. I'll put a weight on this and write on it. I always suggest to my customers, and you'll notice when I put your items in your bag, I always put them in upside down. Always upside down. And when you freeze, upside down. And when you defrost, upside down in our wrapping. Why? Because you don't want any of this fresh meat that has fresh blood to come out the seam. That is something that can easily happen if it's defrosting or freezing this way. In your home freezer, it could take several hours for it to freeze. And in the meantime, some of that fresh blood can potentially come out, whether it's chicken or beef or pork chop, it can potentially come out and create a mess. We don't want that to ever happen. So if you freeze and defrost upside down, you're pretty safe. Maybe not 100% because it could still come out the side here. So you should still put it in a plate or a bowl, but this is going to be your best bet. And you'll always notice that whenever I put something in your bag, it's always going to be upside down for that purpose. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that gave you some hints and some tricks as to the things that we do. We have a lot of customers that like to use Ziploc bags and so on, and that's fine. But this is the way we like to wrap to ensure that you take home our top quality products. And we also have a vacuum seal that we use for some of our products as well. I don't have anything here to display that, to show you that, but I'm sure you've probably seen like our crab cakes and certain other products that we vacuum seal. But I hope that was a helpful tip, something for you to learn about how and why we do the things that we do here at Herman's. Thank you. Okay. At Herman's, we are a custom cut store, and we pride ourselves in making sure you get not only the best product, but the best wrapped product as well. And this is how we like to have you go home with an awesome package from Herman's. So remember, become part of the Herman family and join our YouTube channel by subscribing, sharing with your family and friends, giving us some thumbs up, and enjoying these videos so that we can keep bringing them to you. Thank you so much.